Conrad here from AlbertaGardener.com. I just wanted to give you all a little tour of my greenhouse that I built this year. I was ready around, I finished the greenhouse on June 21st, around there, and that's the day that I put the plants in. I decided to start some plants on June 25th. What you're seeing here on the left is black pansies. They haven't sprouted yet. I'm not sure if they will. I overwatered them a bunch. That's why there's moss on the top. Same with that other pot. In the terracotta pots are Tiny Tim tomatoes. I'm hoping that I can bring them in the house at the end of the year and have a few tomatoes just sitting in the windowsill. In the large green pot at the back, there is geum planted, red dragon geum. I'm not sure if they've sprouted yet. There's one plant in there that I don't recognize as a weed. The rest are weeds that I got to pull out, and I might have overwatered that too. In a small green pot, I tried to plant a tomato sucker, but it eventually didn't work. Next time I might try to start it in a glass of water. Next, you'll see the cucumbers. I planted them on June 25th in the greenhouse, and they've done amazingly well. I got to transplant them already. The cilantro and chives in behind them, a few of them have sprouted, not all, and there's a couple of weeds in there I got to get out, but other than that, they're doing pretty good. I think these two pots here have black pansies in them, but I can't be sure. I never wrote down what I planted there, and they haven't sprouted yet, so I can't tell. And then on the right here, we have a green pepper. It hasn't done much. It's got a few flowers on it, but that's it. But it hasn't done any better than it was doing outside in the pot in the greenhouse. But this chili has been doing amazing. It's got, I'm not even sure how many peppers it's got on it, but it's almost falling over. I staked that earlier today after I made the video. Next, you can see the marigolds I've got planted. I was going to put them all into the gardens to keep out the neighborhood cat that likes to dig through, but I never got around to that, and I think I'm just going to keep these ones and plant them for keep them for the seed and try to sell the seeds on eBay over the winter, as well as keep some for myself for planting next year. The interesting thing is that they're doing fine, even though a lot of them are still in their little paper cups that they were planted in originally. I haven't got around to transplanting them yet. And then this iris I bought this year, it had already bloomed when I bought it, but it's pink and white. It looks really nice. All the darker green, shorter leaves are new growth since I put it in the greenhouse too. And here we have another chili grande, just like the one on the shelf, but it's doing a lot better size-wise, and it has a lot more chilies on it. They're just very small. It bloomed later than the other one did. But I'm going to get a lot off of that. I'm happy with it. I planted this corn the same day I planted the cucumbers, and it's twice as tall as the stuff that's outside, but in the stuff outside's defense, it got nailed by hail on July 6th. So it slowed down quite a bit, and there's a lot of weeds in there I got to get out. That's probably slowing it down a little bit too. These gladiolas I bought off eBay. I can't wait to see them flower. I've grown gladiolas before, but I've never actually been able to make them flower. So I thought maybe the greenhouse would be the perfect place for them. And this is Minnesota melon. It looks, I think it's a cantaloupe. It looked like it anyway. And it's only got male flowers on it right now though, so I haven't got any fruit set. But I'm hoping any day now I'll get a female flower I can pollinate with. I've been using Praxis' technique of pollinating the male flowers in hopes to get female flowers. So I'm hoping all my time spent on the end of a Q-tip's going to be worth it. And right next to it, I have a watermelon. I've tried to grow watermelon 3 years in a row, and I've failed miserably every year until this year when I got my very first fruit. I hand pollinated that myself. Even though we do have bugs in the greenhouse because I leave the door open quite a bit, I like to make sure, so every time I find a female flower, I've been pollinating it, and I think I'm only going to let 2 or 3 grow on that plant. After that, I think that's probably enough. I don't want to have it try to make too much production and not get any. Beside it is an Intruder green pepper. It's the same as the one that was on the shelf that wasn't doing that great, but this one's done a lot better. It loved the greenhouse immediately. And I actually lost a pepper on it the other day because I went to check it for blossom end rot, which I'll get to in a second, and it just fell off. So I got a tiny pepper that uh, hasn't been eaten yet. I don't actually eat green peppers, but my mom does, so I gave it to her, and she hasn't eaten it yet. So I don't know if it tastes fine being that small. I know it's safe to eat. I checked it out, but I don't know if she's gonna like it or not. I hope she does, and she will definitely like the other ones that are bigger. And speaking of blossom and rot, this tomato, which has done great since I put it in here, it's grown probably a foot since I put it in the big 5 gallon bucket. It had a few larger tomatoes on it that I noticed had blossom end rot, or what I think is blossom end rot. So I looked online and I found that MI Gardener had a trick where you put Tums. You crush up some Tums and put it in a water barrel and water your plants with that. It'll get rid of blossom end rot. And so far, that little tomato on there that's actually grown probably 2 or 3 times the size it was when I had to pick the other ones off, it hasn't got it yet. And I only watered once so far with Tums. I'm going to do it again Wednesday to make sure that it doesn't continue. So I'll let everybody know how that turns out, and if it works, I'm going to give MI Gardner a big pat in the back because he deserves it. He saved my tomato. I've already lost too many of those this year. It's the first year I grew them from seed, so I had a couple problems with overwatering at the start and all kinds of stuff. I'm just glad one survived. But that's it. I'll do an actual tour of what's all in the greenhouse. I couldn't do the outside of it because it was raining fairly hard yesterday when I made the video. But yes, stay tuned and I'll make more videos in the future. Thanks and have a great day.